Absolutely. So you brought up so many great points.
Yeah, I'm a little all over the place, but it all connects somehow.
You get your presence out there on all the different domains.
John, I'm about as organized in my head as my business plan. This everything I'm talking about right now. It's about the same. That's what my business plan is,
Sure. Well, that's the risk, like, I know for me, if you put me in a organized situation, and there's 10 of us, and they tell all 10 of us, hey, go, this is what we're going to do, and there's a learning curve there, and you have your instructions and everything like that. I'm probably not going to do very well. Like, the other guys will be able to learn this immediate thing faster, and they'll think that I might not have common sense and stuff like that. But as entrepreneurs, if we took those same group of 10 people and we just put them somewhere and we said, all right, there's no guidelines, what do you do? Then I think that's where entrepreneurs excel, is being able to go through that chaos. Because in the first scenario, the business had encapsulated the chaos into this process that they're able to deliver to the employee, and then the employee is able to follow that process. And then where it's the job of an entrepreneur to find that chaos and be able to encapsulate that chaos, and then be able to give it to the employee as a structured thing.
Yeah, to kind of process that chaos and say, okay, here's this chaos, here's the plan, and we need your input on this part, and this part.
Yeah, here's what you do. I know I always got told when I was working for people that, we're not paid to think. Everything.
Oh, did they actually tell you that?
Oh, all the time.
Your boss told you that?
Yeah, you're not paid to think. You're paid to, and that's not the job of an employee a lot of times, especially as you get into bigger organizations. I personally try to, have more open relationships with my employees, and be able to lean on them.
See, that's funny, because with all my people, like, I tell them to do something, and like, a lot of them will be like, hey, I did this and I did it a little better, and sometimes it's annoying, and sometimes it's annoying, but sometimes they actually do it better, and sometimes you see process improvements. And I think the key part of it, though, is like, you're keeping them happy because you're fulfilling their need, the human curiosity need, and you want to keep your people happy. So when I see my people, I give them a little bit of free reign, to mess around with things. Obviously sometimes it gets a little out of control, and I'll be like, yo, I'm paying you to, do this process, but I always give people, a little leeway, and hey, that was good, but the reason I told you to do it this way was because of this.
Yeah, that's definitely one of your management skills. That's definitely one of your skill sets.
But yeah, the way I think about it is, I'm like, okay, part of, like I said, part of anything and getting employees and all that is, like, the first 2 months, and it is a mistake a lot of people make, is they get an employee and they expect the employee to start making returns like the very next day, the very next hour. Anybody I bring on, I don't see a profit out of their work for like 6 weeks to 2 months at the minimum, right? Because I'm spending more input and time training them, resources training them, that they don't return anything for me until they're at a certain level. And then after that is when they start, So when you get employees that have been around 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, that's when you really start seeing the productivity of having people, under your mentorship, that really start delivering for you. So part of getting to that level where you have people for 6 months, 12 months, and more, is that you keep them happy. You know, they like working with you. You could see like what they want, like what their goals are. And you say, okay, by working with me, you're going to get a salary. Obviously, everybody needs that. But you're also going to get to attain the next step of your life that you want to, you know, via working with me. So you're happy. You're happy because, man, I'm getting better. I'm improving. My life is going to be better, you know. So if you break it down, aside from just being a nice guy, it's also useful to treat people that way, you know?
And, you know, retention's not going to be as good on the first year as it is your fifth year. You know, it's probably not going to be as good on your fifth year as it is your 20th year, you know,
Yeah.
as well.